Guys, since it's so close to Halloween, I thought I'd tell you a couple of strange stories, strange occurrences that have happened in my life. I'm not so sure I believe in ghosts or spirits or anything like that, but I do know what I've experienced. So let's start with the first story. Go back to when I was 8 years old. We were playing the Ouija board. It's me and my older sister and some of her friends. And my sister's about 10 years older than me. We had supposedly contacted a young girl around my age, about 10 or so, and she claimed that she had died in her house. I didn't think anything of it. I thought, this is silly. This is some silly game, and somebody's moving the little Ouija piece on the board. So later that night, I went to bed, and sometime during the night, I woke up, and I heard this strange noise in the hallway. And when I looked, I saw this dark figure wearing a white dress, and it looked like a little girl. So, me being such a quick thinker, I put my blanket over my head and started saying, "Go away, go away, go away," until I passed out. And when I woke up in the morning and retold the story, my sister, my mother, nobody believed me. They thought I was just being silly. But again, I know what I saw. Not too long ago, about a year ago, I have a little boy, and at the time he must have been about 11 months old. I woke up and he was crying. We happened to have been sleeping next to each other in my bed, and my bed is against the wall, and he was closest to the wall. When I woke up, I didn't have my contacts in, so my vision is very poor, so I just saw this blurry figure of my son crying. But he wasn't facing me. He had his arms up, and he was reaching out to something next to me. And he was reaching out to something that was parallel to me. And when I turned, I kept blinking, and I just kept seeing this white, tall shimmer. Not a body, not a face, not a person, not an angel, nothing like that. Just this white blob, glistening blob. And I kept blinking, and it wouldn't go away. And he was crying with his arms reached out to whatever this was. So I just took him into my arms, turned over, and pretended that whatever happened or whatever I saw just did not happen. Like I said, I don't know what it was. It could have been my eyes playing tricks on me, but why was he up crying with his arms reached out to whatever this was? It's very creepy. So I received a phone call Saturday evening from my sister-in-law, and she said that her 3-year-old, Ava, had been getting up for the past month. And she was walking around the house talking. She would get up from her room, walk through the dining room into the living room, just walk around rambling. And my sister-in-law and my brother would just lay in bed and listen to her. She wasn't sleepwalking, she wasn't really doing any harm, so they just let her walk around until she went back to her room and lay down and went to bed. She shares a room with her brother, Josh. So my sister-in-law told me that the other morning, Saturday morning, Ava woke up and came out of the room crying. And she said, Mommy, the grandma who sits on Josh's bed, I lost her. I don't know where she's at. I can't find her." My sister-in-law said, "Ava, what grandma that's on your bed, or on Josh's bed, what's going on?" She said, "The grandma that I talked to that sits on Josh's bed is missing. I can't find her." So she said, well, who is this woman? And she said, oh, I wake up and she wants me to walk with her around the house. So I walk with her until she feels better. And then I go back to bed. So my sister-in-law said that when she bought the house that they're living in at the moment, that she bought it from this old gentleman, maybe in his 40s, 50s, who had said that the house belonged to his mother. And he claimed that his mother was getting older and it was time for her to come live with him in Hawaii. And my sister-in-law had said, I had this feeling that this woman had died in this house and he just didn't want to tell me that. So we're thinking that this grandma is the woman who died, probably in Ava and Josh's bedroom, and now speaks to her. Strange little coincidence. You know what, that brings another story to mind. My mother told me when I was younger, maybe 3 or 4 years old, around Ava's age, that I had a little blue telephone, and I would, talk on it. It would ring, and I'd play with it all the time. It was a very fun toy for me. It was something I always played with. And she said one day I turned to her and I said, "Oh, Mom, Jaji's on the phone. Jaji's talking to me." And she said that I stunned everybody in the room, including my grandparents and my siblings, because Jaji is what we called well, not what we called, what they called my great-grandfather, Jadek. And he had died April 7th, 1980, years before I was even born, the day after one of my siblings was born. And they didn't really talk about him. I never met him, but somehow he was calling me. So like I said, kind of spooky. I don't know that I believe in spirits talking to people or like these mediums on TV, but I know what I experienced, and I know what I saw, and I know what little Ava told my sister-in-law. Well, I hope you all enjoy your Halloween. It's my favorite holiday. Thanks for listening to my ramble.